Welcome to Velita of Atlanta, the health and wellness show, since renamed the Wholeness Experience. You will find out what it means to experience wholeness in its entirety and its multifacets. I'm very excited to have on the show with us today someone I have the highest respect for and the highest regard because of so many years in the metaphysical world, in the world of psyche. Her name is Gloria Parker. Let's give you a little bit of history about her. I was so fascinated when I was reading her bio. I thought, oh my God, I want to say everything, but time will prevent that. But she's been in the metaphysical world and studying that for many years. She actually founded a newspaper called The Aquarius, and she had that for 22 years, recently sold, and everything's working out with that. But now, at present, I'm very excited about what she's doing. She has a wonderful radio show, and it's called The Psychic Bartender. I think that is totally fascinating. So what we're going to find out today, so you won't be so spooked, people they get worried when you say the word psychic. But I believe after today, you'll begin to see there's another whole realm we did not know. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce my very special guest, Gloria Parker.
Why, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being here. And I think that that's exactly true. I think that your audience is going to find out a little bit about the psychic world. I have been doing a psychic fair in Atlanta for 25 years.
Okay.
Once a month, in the middle of Roswell, Georgia, at the old Blue Barn called Harmony Place.
Okay.
And it has been quite the experience. I've had some of the same psychics work with me for 30 years. And they're all just like me and you. You wouldn't know that they were psychic unless they said, hey, you know, I read cards, or I do this, or I do that, or, you know. What I tell people is this: not one of these people that I've been associated with woke up in the middle of the night and sat up and said, I think I'm going to be a psychic.
Right.
It just doesn't happen like that. It happens the way it's supposed to happen, which is you'll talk to a friend, you know, even just here in the studio right now, I've made some new friends, and they were sharing that they moved without knowing what they were doing. They moved to another location. They're moving out of town as we speak to go to New York for new adventures. All of these things happen not by accident. They happen because they're supposed to.
Absolutely. You know, what I like about that, like we said before, many people confused what the psychic world and its modalities. And please share with us just these modalities, the modalities of this psychic world. And I like what you said before we talked, that it's not just called psychic world. What term did you use for me?
Well, you know, metaphysics is the field.
Yes.
And metaphysics is broader. And it encompasses all of these things that you were asking me about, the energies, auras, different things that sort of spook people if they have no understanding.
Absolutely,
you know?
absolutely.
And you know, the thing of it is that in just every world, metaphysical, real world, whatever, any kind of world, we all are the best when we're knowledgeable about something.
Absolutely.
You know, knowledge is power. And so it's like, instead of like saying, oh, I have still people that go, you know, well, I don't want a reading because I don't want to know. I went, well, what don't you want to know?
Right.
You know, like, what wouldn't you want to know? And, you know, and a lot of people think that psychics will tell them bad stuff. Well, you know, the bad and good is up to you.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying we don't have bad things happen, because we do, okay?
It's life.
But if you want to think, you know, I have a friend that, you know, and I tell her, no matter what it is, I'm coming down here. She went, oh, you're going into town by yourself and you don't know these people, or you don't know what you're doing, and you know, this and this could happen. And I'm, what the hell's the matter with you? Are you crazy?
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like, you know, is that the kind of world you want to live in? I don't want to live in that world. And I live in a world where I want to know. I want to know lots and everything. So the thing of it is that how many times we've all done this. You walk in, okay, let's just take energy.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that word.
Okay.
It's great.
Like, well, let's go back, okay? Get to metaphysics for a minute. Meta means beyond the physical. Metaphysical means beyond. Meta means beyond the physical. So that means that all these other realms that start about here, by the way, there's other levels of consciousness that we can't see because we only use what, 10% or less of our brain?
Yes.
So we can't see that world. But somebody who's clairvoyant, that's how they get their information. They see more than we. They see angels around you.
Right.
They may read, that's what their reading is because they can see it.
Yes.
You know? And so every one of these psychics have a gift, you know? And every one of these people use that gift in a certain way, but all of it's energy. So that's how I wanted to start with energy because energy is weird. When you walk into a room and you feel there's something weird, something not right,
unsettling.
and you say to your friend,
yes,
let's get the hell out of here. I don't think we should be here. Maybe we should go somewhere else, okay? And then you get, you know, the next day you hear that there was a raid there or somebody was selling dope there or somebody got hurt there. There was an accident or something, a fire, anything. You go, whew, you know what? I'm glad I trusted my intuition. I'm glad I recognized that and I'm glad I reacted to that. Because we all have that. We all have intuition. What's the difference between one person and another is just being willing to understand it and to know. I mean, we all say, oh, mother's intuition. Mothers know, right?
Just well, different terms.
You do too.
Same energy.
Yeah.
Now, I like to say that to our audience. It's different terms, same energy, same spirit, same. It's all the same because it's all one. Oh, we could go there. That could be another story. But this is something I want to say. So, when I was looking at the modalities as you were expressing them, if you can, because we have such a short time, and I'm so excited about having you. By the way, people like Gloria and herself and people that you know, with this new event that we're doing, it will be held June 26th of 2016 at the Mason Fine Art and Gallery. We will have wonderful people with expert knowledge just like this to bring an awareness, to bring so many into a higher consciousness of what exists for us that helps us. Yeah. So how would you describe maybe the 3 key things that would say that people like us can bring into our consciousness or our awareness to prevent even negative vibrations? What are maybe 3 key things you could think about that would bring us into that? Is that hard to define right now, or?
Well, I mean, it's like there isn't a negative.
There you go.
there isn't a negative. Okay. It's like, you know, if you're negative, you're going to bring negative. Go for it. But if you can learn how to shift that and change that, like our friend here that's you know, helping us put this together, he was just saying, you know, that he moved to a place he didn't know and started to, you know, embrace The Secret, which is a movie that everybody can go and learn some stuff from and understand that, you know, it's all consciousness. It's all, you know, it's all projection. Right. You know, it's all saying, I will, instead of I can't. Right. That's one simple little thing can change your life.
Absolutely.
So it's like wonderful, you know?
Or I love it that you said that.
You know, another thing like aura. Okay? Some people can actually see lights around you. Do you know that one time I was with a friend, and it never happened to me before. Another thing that you need to understand about this is that just because you had something happen doesn't mean you're supposed to go read auras. It just means that for that particular time, you know, you needed that experience for whatever, okay? Well, I was with a friend. I had never had this happen before, and all of a sudden, we were on the beach in Tybee Island in her condo, and I sit across the room from her, and she, around her was all green, just like these green things behind us, okay, green screens. I mean, she was all green. And I mean, it scared me because that had never happened before. And this has been 20-something years ago, okay? And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know? And I went like this, and I couldn't look at her. I couldn't go back because for a minute it was just like startling, and then I went like this, you know. And it was like, then I got used to it, and I went, okay, so she's all green, you know. I don't know what that means
what that actually
exactly,
means, right?
but you know, I felt like green in the colors can mean a few things. It can mean that I've had a green aura several times, and it means that I was probably taking, you know, a detox product, and I was, you know, like it was a cleansing or something, and it would, you know, it was a health. It was showing. I showed actually how I was getting some health, getting healthier,
Right.
and that can be green, or it can be green with envy.
Right.
It can be, you know, it can be all kinds of stuff. So knowing the colors, I mean, it's, again, what are we talking about? Knowledge.
And as we were going on and I was just listening to you, it's just so wonderful to hear all the facets and how you describe, even with colors, numerology, whatever exists. So would you say it's the job of the psychic to give us, I'll say like a roadmap of how to navigate in life, such as operating through a guiding system, you know, within the mind, body, and spirit, past, present, future?
Yeah. Well, you know, every psychic, I mean, it's kind of like going to a doctor. You know, you got a heart condition. You know, you're not going to go to a general practitioner. You're going to go to a heart specialist.
Right.
And it's sort of like that, okay? So some psychics, they are studying, or they've got a talent and a gift from the universe, and they never study anything. They just can pick up auras, or they can read you, or they see, you know, if you wanted to talk to the dead, you would go to a medium.
Right.
You would find a medium, okay? If you, I mean, you're not going to go to somebody, you're not going to ask somebody to call in your daughter or son from the other side and go to a palmist. So that, again, you know, and I keep going back to, because it's all about you understanding. It's your understanding, you know. Now, you don't have to believe it.
Right.
I mean, I have a lot of people that don't believe, you know, and then I'll tell them, because I do numbers, I'll do numbers on them, and they'll go, well, that's just like me. I had one girl at the bar, she actually leaned over the bar and she said, do you know me?
Right.
And I went, no, I don't think I've ever met you before. But it's like, that's the way it is. I mean, you'll be surprised. You'll come to play with your friends to a fair or to one of the events.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you'll realize that, oh my goodness, I got helped.
Right.
Or like Reiki. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about the energy healings, the modalities. People, like if you get on somebody's table and they do hands-on, or they do Reiki, which is an energy healing, say you had a headache, and you get up 20 minutes later and that headache's gone. Well, because you've probably slept through it. You know, you didn't take an aspirin, you didn't go to the doctor, you didn't do any of the normal stuff, but it happened so easy that you may not even tell your friend, you know, I had a Reiki session and they got rid of my headache. You wouldn't even think about it, because it would happen so easy. And that happens a lot with energy, because energy is felt.
Right.
You can't see it.
Yes.
And it's like you just...
What I want to do is I'm going to shift just a little bit as we're closing up, and I thank you so much for that. That was just, it's great to have it all broken down. And I think that in my closing, I want to ask this, and I know you may have been asked it before, but I am from the background of the biblical scene, the church, the whole church scene, which I love, the foundations of the biblical teachings and all of that. And we do talk about spirit and what spirit does, and miracles and signs and all that whole thing. So when they're trying to connect psychic and all of that, I'd like to ask you this. As I understand it, the psychic world speaks of spirits, spirit guides, God, the I am, and the like. So within this spiritual world of church and religion, how do you think the psychic phenomena is viewed? How do you think that's viewed?
Well, I think it's the sign of the times is that even in your, I mean, it's everywhere. You know, the metaphysics is everywhere. You know,
Yes.
watch your top TV shows. your cop shows, all of your CSI shows, and listen to their language. They use intuition. They use, you know, they'll stand over a body and go, well, I think he just got his karma.
Right, right.
I think, you know, his karma just caught up with him. You know, you never hear any of these words. These words are new from, say, I'm going to go 10 years back.
Absolutely,
okay?
absolutely.
So that's what happens is all of a sudden you get the mystery out of it a little bit, and you start to view it differently. And then all of a sudden you realize that we are all energy. We do have, everybody has colors around them.
Yes.
Everybody, okay?
Yes.
So when you realize that just because we can't see them, we can't see it, we can't feel this energy, but it's all real. Once something becomes real, then it's okay to delve into a little bit.
Right.
So I think that if you listen to most preachers today, they will, they won't be so easy to just knock things that they can't see.
Right.
I think that the beyond the physical is exactly that. It's just beyond the physical.
Well, can I share this with you? Even on that note, I think that is very accurate to say. And I have been in many arenas, and the ones that are embracing it, I think you said something earlier in the show. It's just the terms, the things that people say, how they identify, like mother's tuition or whatever. Now, and I sing they're called prophets, prophetic people. And when you look up the definitions, it means to foretell and to foresee.
Yeah.
That's the bottom
Right.
line.
Right.
Now, however they want to describe it, however you need to describe it, let's just come to one mind, which is the I am, experiencing everything that we need to experience
we need to
in
do.
its holistic form.
Right. Well, I'd like to say one more thing before we do close, though, and that is that people are right. There is, and there always has been, the charlatans. They're everywhere.
Absolutely.
Not just in this industry, in you know, people take advantage of people. Come on, you know?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Oh,
so
yeah.
being in the real world, all right?
Yes.
I'm going to tell the people that are listening to this and that'll see this show, just don't pay for somebody to pray for you. I mean, is that not common sense? You go to a psychic and they say, you know, you need this, this, and this, and if you give me, you know, $50, I'll pray. I'll light these candles and pray. Light your own damn candles and pray. You don't need that, you know, and I shouldn't have to tell you that, and your
Right.
common sense tells you that. So just use this like you would anything else. If you hear from a psychic something that rings true to you, then hold on to it. If you go to a psychic and out of 20 minutes, they've said one thing to you that rings true to you, hang on to that one thing and let the rest go.
It's good.
That's all.
Very good.
I mean, it's like, you know, but there are, you know,
And it's all inclusive.
Yeah. So, you know, and I'm not going to name them, but I mean, from the many eons ago, there were people that's how they made that's how they made their living, and they took advantage. So, sure, that still goes on, but there's many places in many ways now, like your event, the psychic fair. You know, just like you win anything else. You know,
Absolutely.
something's not going to last if it doesn't. I mean, nothing gets better if there's something shady.
Exactly.
Businesses don't exist in your real world. Nothing happens.
Well, Gloria, they're giving me the sign that it's time for us to round up.
Well,
we
thank
have
you.
Certainly
This
enjoyed
is so
this.
fun.
So I cannot wait till we get to do our events and have much more
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
wholeness experience and how we can all benefit from walking into what we need to do in a higher consciousness way and understanding the metaphysical world.
Thank you.
Thank you.